Well, now we want to have a conversation in studio about matters trade relations between Ghana and Kenya. In studio with me is Alexander Dadzawa. He is a director at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. As
well as Honorable Catherine Afeku. She is in charge of communications at the African Continental Free Trade Area Coordination Office in Ghana. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You're very much welcome. We say Karibuni in Kenya. Yes. So let's start with where Kenya and Ghana are. I mean, the two countries were the first to sign the agreement, and already some shipment has happened, at least from Kenya to Ghana. How is that going? Let's start with you, Catherine.
First and foremost, Betty, we have to thank your viewers and our sisters and brothers in Kenya for receiving us so warmly. As you rightfully said, the Africa Free Continental Trade Area, the first two countries that signed were Ghana and Kenya. And in recent past, Kenya, the GEPA board of the tea growers and other, I think it was just GEPA, they brought a shipload of sample shipping to Ghana. So now we actually did the trade facilitation for tea from Kenya to come to Ghana. The past 2 days we've been in your beautiful country to also establish a Ghana Export Trade House and an exhibition of Ghanaian organic products wholly made in Ghana at the Sarit Expo Center that is just opened today. So the bilateral relations between the two countries is deepened with these symbolic gestures and also actualizing the trade between our two regional blocks, because what we did is bringing things to Kenya symbolizes that the East African market will see Kenya as a hub. And in the same vein, Kenya will reciprocate and set up a similar venture in Ghana to also take an opportunity of the West African market. So we're here to showcase Ghanaian products and also to entreat our fellow Kenyan citizens to come to Sarit Center to patronize.
Right. I like that you've mentioned that Kenya being the hub of East Africa.
Yes.
I'll go to you, Alexander. I mean, what have you witnessed in terms of collaboration between the Ghanaian and the Kenyan side, considering that there were some barriers that, just made sure that business was not really going on, and now those barriers are being brought down? How is that going?
Well, I would say, building on what Honorable Afeku said, it's a good sign, and things are beginning to open up. The bilateral trade between Kenya and Ghana have been going on very well. We've seen a flow of activities by Kenyan businessmen and businesswomen coming to Accra, signaling that we want to work together. The essence of the AfCFTA is to actually break those barriers and make trading in goods and services easier, and more importantly, the tariff regimes in our various countries will go over time. And we have seen those efforts going. Even though the level of trade in terms of values are not that encouraging, the fact that we have started the process is very good. A few years back, you will not hear that Ghana is exporting much to the Kenyan market and vice versa. But these days, things are moving fast. That even symbolizes the way Kenya Airways is coming to Ghana. I hear they have more than 5 flights daily coming to Accra and then coming back to Nairobi, and that's a good sign for business. So that is why we are here, and ours is just to build on that process, because I represent the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, which whose objective is to increase trade, and we are very good products, as our sister has said, that we want to introduce to the Kenyan market. It's not as though you don't know about it already, but to make it closer home to you. And at the launch of the trade house, my chief executive made it amply clear that Kenya don't need to travel that far to get the goods, because our intention is to bring it closer home, so you can go and order and then it will go to you here.
I'd like us to remain with that point of Africans trading with Africans. I mean, it has taken the longest time, and even implementation of the AfCFTA itself is having a bit of challenges. The pilot phase has about 8 countries, if I'm not wrong, Kenya and Ghana, of course, being some of them. Why aren't more countries taking it up, Honorable Afeku?
As you rightfully said, this is a legacy from the days of Jomo Kenyatta and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. They've always had the vision to trade and to build the bridges as a people together. We have what we call the non-tariff barriers, but the records are very encouraging. Out of the 55 African countries, 46 have actually signed on to the agreement, and 44 have ratified, which means trade can officially begin amongst 44 of our fellow countrymen and women. So the progress of it is more education, using mediums such as yours to educate our citizenry that we are over 1.4 billion as a market, one single market, and the establishment of a secretariat in Ghana signals that Africa is ready to trade amongst itself. We have the diplomacy, we have the emancipation, political freedom, but economic emancipation is really the last block to make Africans reach where we can actually have poverty and also bring a lot of people on board, because private sector is really the roadmap to release our people from the shackles of poverty. So there is progress. It is not all rosy, but there is progress, and I can also commend the Kenyan government and our government leading the way. We did what we call the guided trade. It was about 8 countries, but now you can freely ship your goods to all these 46 countries that have ratified, and you look at the certificate of origin, how much of the tariff is being dismantled, and over a period of 10 years, it will be 0 tariff. So we've made progress as a people, and we need to encourage each other, because there's always that tendency of discouragement. I think we're doing well, because if you look at World Trade Organization, the European Union, it took more than 17 years for them to trade, but with Africa, they met in Rwanda in 2018, and COVID aside, we're in 2023, and we are actually seeing goods moving from country A to country B. We just need the young people to take advantage of this opportunity.
Take advantage. We shall talk about that in just a little bit. We get back to our conversation here on matters Ghana and Kenya trade relations. In studio, I have Alexander Dadzawa. He is the director at Ghana Export Promotion Authority, as well as Honorable Catherine Afeku, the African Continental Free Trade Area Ghana office, head of communications. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you.
Before we took that story, Honorable Afeku, you were talking about the involvement of young people. Yes. And Alexander, I would like to find out from you, since you are leading the Export Promotion Authority, are you seeing more young people taking advantage of these opportunities that such agreements are opening up?
Yes. To be frank with you, we are seeing a lot of them. In fact, the expo that we've just opened this morning at the Sarit Expo Center, we are bringing close to 70 different Ghanaian SMEs to the show, and I can tell you the majority of them are young people, and more interestingly, majority are women, young women who are taking advantage of market opportunities. They are doing great things. As far as Ghana is concerned, we have seen a steady rise in the level of youth involved in SMEs, which is a very, very good sign. And they are doing wonderful products. If you come to the show, you would see the range of products that they have, particularly in cosmetics and cocoa-based products. That's chocolates, both artisanal and medium-sized manufacturing companies. So I would say that, yes, it's on the rise. The young people are taking advantage. But we need to do a lot more education and information that will be available to them on the opportunities that are available. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to set up the trade house, because we want to expose their products to the market. Don't be mistaken, these are quality products that we have to offer. So the short of it is that, yes, the young people are really, really interested, not only in goods, but in services. And Kenya is an IT hub, and I'm sure that you know that the youth are the ones leading this revolution, and the same is for Ghana. So not only selling the product, but also can we do integration by way of the youth coming together to form JVs? Your guess is as good as mine, but Honorable will build on that.
Right, Honorable Afeku, I see you nodding very strongly in agreement.
Yes, it's very encouraging. As the Honorable Member Twalib had mentioned, the blue economy is also huge opportunities for logistics, transport, because as you produce these goods from point A to point B, you need businessmen and women to ensure its arrival, and it's even the payment systems. You have a very robust M-Pesa architecture. These are products that the ecosystem of IT, spearheaded by the young people, can lead. But alongside the Ghana exhibition, we also have about 28 Kenyan companies at the Sarit Expo Center also exhibiting alongside, just to deepen the ties between Ghana and Kenya. So it's not just a one-sided exhibition. We've also brought in our counterparts from Kenya under the, I think it's the Kenya Authority, the equivalent of the KEPROBA. Right. They're also there spearheading the collaboration. But this morning, we did something very significant on Mombasa Road at Samir Park. We've opened Ghana Trade House. So it's an edifice that's permanently here that will have shelves of all the Ghanaian products that are being exhibited and more. So it will be stocked, so people can actually go there. But now with technology, you can just order online. And the unique advantage we have is shea butter, cocoa. So this morning, one of your leaders, Mr. Oliver Konje, also gave a very good testimony about not competing against each other as Africans, but focus on the competitive advantage. And you know, Ghana is shea butter, Ghana is cocoa, Kenya is tea, Kenya is coffee. So you've already started the reciprocity of having your products on shelves in Ghana. Now we've also had the opportunity to bring ours here. So we will encourage KBC to be our advocacy partner, to encourage more women, especially young women, to take on the entrepreneurship attitude and be self-sufficient and financially independent as well.
Awesome. Let's hope they take advantage of those opportunities. Thank you very much for speaking with us. I'm afraid we ran out of time. That's all we had for the interview. I have been speaking with Alexander Dadzawa. I keep getting that wrong. Sorry. Dadzawa. He is a director at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, as well as Honorable Catherine Afeku, head of communications at the African Continental Free Trade Area Coordination Office in Ghana. We have talked about Ghana and Kenya trade relations, how to ensure that the opportunities brought about by agreements such as the AfCFTA are taken advantage of and our people are empowered economically.